Hello, good evening. Our topic of discussion today is costing of electricity. And this is where finance meets physics. So we'll be calculating the costs of consuming electricity, be it in naira, dollar, or pound, all depend on the country you are staying. So now we're calculating the costs of consuming electricity. That is the topic of discussion today. And our objective is that by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to calculate the cost of consuming electrical energy. And for you to do that, you have to calculate the energy consumed. So you'll be able to calculate electrical energy, and then you'll be able to calculate the costs of consuming electrical energy. Let's go to the formula. Now, costing is the determination of the amount to be paid for consuming electrical energy. And the formula is the cost is equal to energy consumed multiplied by the rate. The rate is usually fixed by the power company, that's by the distributor of electricity or by the government. So do not forget that energy itself is equal to power multiplied by time. Since we are dealing with electricity, always remember that the formula for electrical power is current multiplied by voltage. Hence, we can say electrical energy is power, which is current multiplied by voltage. They multiply it by time. I that is IVT. This is the formula for electrical energy. Yeah, energy is power times time. Since power itself is current times voltage, hence we can get the formula for energy as current times voltage multiplied by time, IVT. And that's how we got this. So also you need to, so if you want to bring the expression for the rate into this expression, so if you bring rate into this, multiply it by energy, you get the cost. So you can have the cost as your IVT multiplied by rate, or you say power times time multiplied by rate. Now, do not forget that when we are dealing with this topic, we want to use higher values of energy. So we don't express our energy in joules. Rather, we express our energy in kilowatts hour. Yeah, so your energy must be in kilowatts hour. Energy must be in kilowatts hour. So what we always do is this. Energy is, current multiplied by voltage will give you the power in watts. They multiply this by our time in seconds. We convert our power from kilowatts to watts. Sorry, we convert our power from watts to kilowatts. Then convert our time from seconds to hours. So this is what we do in order to express our energy in IVT. Now, this will be done if time is given in seconds. If in the question, the time is given in minutes, then you just divide this by 60. Without wasting too much time. Okay, yeah, so let me express that here. Or you say energy is current times voltage divided by 1000. So this converts our power from watts to kilowatts, then multiply by T divided by 60. So this will be done if T is in minutes. And this will be done if your time T is in seconds. If in the question you're given your time in hours, then you don't need to convert it. So all of this conversion must be done just to convert your energy to kilowatts hour. So convert power to kilowatts, convert time to watts. Without consuming too much time on this, let's take our first example. Example number 1. You have to calculate the cost of running an electric fan rated 2.5 kilowatts for 5 hours, given that the power holding company charges 40 naira per kilowatt hour. So what's the formula for calculating the cost? Cost is equal to energy in kilowatt hour multiplied by the rate. Now in this question, you have our energy as power multiplied by time, just as stated by the formula here. So your energy is power multiplied by time. So if in the question you are given the power and you are given the time, so multiply these two will give you the energy. Okay. So once you get the energy, just go and multiply energy by the rate. You get the amount to be paid for consuming electrical energy. So let's go. In this question, we have our power. We were given the power as 2.5 kilowatts. So you don't need to convert the power since we are already given in kilowatts. What about our time? We were given our time as 5 hours. So you don't need to convert our time also since we were given in hours. So now we can calculate our energy as power multiplied by time. The power is 2.5 multiplied by the time is 5. 2.5 multiplied by 5, we get 12.5 kilowatts hour. So that's the electrical energy. Now, how do you get the cost? The cost is the energy consumed multiplied by the rate. That's the rate at which energy is being charged. So our energy is 12.5 multiplied by the rate. Our rate is 14 naira per kilowatt hour. If you multiply 12.5 by 40, you are going to get 500. Yes. So you get 500 naira. So that is our final answer to this question. So let us take another example. Calculate the cost of running an air conditioner for 2 weeks, given that the air conditioner draws a current of 10 amperes from a 240 volt mains power supply, given that the power holding company charges $0.4 per kilowatt hour. So our formula remains the same. Cost is equal to energy multiplied by the rates that must be charged for consuming electricity. Now, how do you get energy? Energy is power times time. Do you have the power? No. So you use current times voltage to get the power. So you multiply this by the time. Now, let's see. If you multiply current by voltage, you have to divide your answer by 1000 in order to convert this to kilowatts. What about the time? Our time was given in weeks. So, okay, so let me take this one after the other. Let me take this together. Let me take this one after the other because our time, in this case, our time is not in minutes or in seconds, it's in weeks. Power multiplied by time. So power is IV divided by 1000 to convert to kilowatts. That's why I'll be dividing by 1000. What is the current? It draws a current of 10 amperes. So our current is 10. What's the voltage? The voltage is connected to 240 volts. Then we divide this by 1000. Hence, we have our power to be equal to 2.4 kilowatts. Now, let's deal with our time. The time is 2 weeks. We have to convert 2 weeks to days. Convert 2 weeks to days. That will be 2 multiplied by 14. 2 times 14. That's what we get in days. You know, there are 14 days in 2 weeks. No, pardon me. That shouldn't be 2 times 14. That should be 2 times 7. That will give us 14. Yeah, since there are 7 days in a week. So we have 2 times 7. So now we have converted 2 weeks to days by multiplying by 7. Now, This 2 times 7 days, you have to convert it to hours by multiplying it by 24 because there are 24 hours in a day. So if you multiply all of this, you get the value of 2 weeks in hours. So you take your calculator, you press 2 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 24. All of this will give you 336 hours. 336 hours. Now we can find our energy. Energy is power multiplied by time. What is the power? We have our power as 2.4 kilowatts. Multiplied by time. What is the time? We have our time as what? We have our time as 336 hours. 336. If you multiply 336 by 2.4, we will get 806.4. 806.4 kilowatts hour. Now, we can now calculate our costs. You know, cost is energy multiplied by the rate. Yeah, so now our cost is equal to energy. Our energy is 806.4 multiplied by the rate. And our rate here is given in the question. The power holding company charges 0.4. So this dollar per kilowatt hour, it represents the rate. So you multiply it by 0.4. If you multiply 806.4 by 0.4, you get $322.56. So this is what you're getting. This is what you have to pay. This is what you have to pay the power holding company. So that's it. The topic is very easy. You just have to solve every question that is given to you. Okay, so let's solve this question entitled Assignment 1. Calculate the cost of using an electric pumping machine in Makurdi for 10 minutes, given that the pumping machine is rated at 1,500 watts. Given that electricity is being charged at the rate of $0.23 per kilowatt hour in Makurdi. Okay, so let's solve this solution. Let me divide this into 2 so I can have enough space. As usual, cost is equal to energy multiplied by the rate at which power is being consumed, as which power is being charged. So what is the energy? Energy is equal to power multiplied by time. What's the power? Our power is 1,500 kilowatts. You know, we have to convert our power from, our power is 1,500 watts. We have to convert our power from watts to kilowatts, okay? By dividing it by what? You divide it by 1,000. So our power is 1,500 watts. You have to divide by 1,000 to convert it to kilowatts. Multiply by time. Multiply by, what is our time here? Our time here is 10 minutes. You have to convert these minutes to hours by dividing by 60. So you have 10 divided by 60. If we evaluate this, you get the energy. So energy is equal to 1,500 divided by 1,000. It gives you 1.5. 1.5 multiplied by 10 over 60. 1.5 multiplied by 10 over 60. That gives us 0.25. 0.25 kilowatts hour. Now, energy is being charged at the rate of $0.23 per kilowatt hour. So the cost is energy, which is 0.25, multiplied by the rate, which is 0.23. So if you multiply these two, you get 0.0575 or 0.058. So $0.058. That's all. We didn't even consume the space. It's fine. So I want to believe you're understanding what you're watching. And if there's any part you do not understand, kindly go back to that part and watch it again. We solve the next question. A gyro uses an electric pumping machine in Makurdi for 30 minutes. Given that the pumping machine is rated 1,600 watts, how much would a gyro pay for using this pumping machine, given that electricity is being charged at the rate of $0.6 per kilowatt hour in Makurdi? The procedure is the same thing. Solution, the cost is equal to energy multiplied by the rate at which energy is being charged. What's the energy? Energy is equal to power multiplied by time. What's the power here? Our power here is 1,600 watts. We have to convert it to kilowatts by dividing by 1,000. Our power must always be expressed in kilowatts because the rate is always expressed in per kilowatt hour. So our time must also be expressed in hours. In this question, you have our time as 30 minutes. You must convert it to hour by dividing by 60. Why do we always express our time in hour? Because our rate is always given in per kilowatt hour. So our power must be in kilowatts, our time must be in hours. So let's evaluate this. 1,600 divided by 1,000, you get 1.6. 1.6 multiplied by half gives you 0.8 kilowatt hour. So now the cost is now equal to the energy. Our energy here is 0.8. Our energy here is 0.8. We multiply it by the rate. In the question, we have the rate as 0.6. If you multiply 0.8 by 0.6, we get 0.48. $0.48. So questions on this topic, they are as easy as this, but they are not easy to come across because so many textbooks do not treat this topic extensively. So let us solve this next one. Engineer Ade uses a refrigerator in London for 2 days. Given that the refrigerator draws an electric current of 9.5 amperes from a 240 volts power supply, how much would Engineer Ade pay for using the refrigerator? Note that electricity is being charged at the rate of $0.5 per kilowatt hour in London. Please hold on. Okay, let's go. Let me erase that. Okay, I think I'll solve it here. So I don't know why my laptop has not been responding. Okay, so I'll do it here. Let me go back there. Okay, so solution. Okay, let me solve it here. Solution. Now the cost is equal to energy multiplied by time. Take note that, sorry, energy multiplied by the rate. Take note that energy is power multiplied by time. Let's go back to the question to get the power. Okay, we don't have the power, we have the voltage, and then we have the current. Current has 9.5, voltage is 240. So let's pick that. Energy times time. So power is current times voltage. And current is 9.5, voltage is 240. You know, you have to convert to kilowatts by dividing by 1000. So let's go. If you press calculator, 9.5 multiplied by 240 divided by 1000, you have our power as in 2.28 kilowatts. What about the time? Okay, so we have to end this here then. We have to end this here.